Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dharma practitioners, when it comes to our ordinary human life, we are mostly like go through motion of life. We just in the pattern, we just keep repeating that patterns knowingly or unknowingly, and we kind of like living machines. So somehow this is a very good opportunity for all of us to recollect our inner wisdom and look into ourselves and rebuild our blueprint to see what you want tomorrow. Why? Because whatever you have done yesterday, and that is what who you are today, and that is what you experience today, good or bad, right or wrong, black or white, happy or unhappy, sad or worry or joy, anything. It's okay. But today you have a good opportunity as a human being. You can rebuild your life from here in this from this moment to tomorrow. So then gather all your experience, put it to one place and start to look yourself where you want to end your life tomorrow. It is your choice. Rather than blaming, complaining, worrying, unhappy, sad, disappointed, fear, find a choice. If you know the Buddha's life, that how he became a Buddha, from the beginning he never had any idea about what is the Buddhahood. But little by little, he started to look into it, and he determined himself through eons by eons by eons. He went through many researches, experiments, looking for that. And finally, he fulfilled. So that is our heritage. That is where we're coming from. So then when you follow that path, you also have to have that ability, develop it in you. Without just looking here and there, find the purpose to yourself and keep it clear, brush up it. You no need to clinging to that. But for the moment, at least try to work on it, and that will help you, because we don't know what will happen in this life. No one can predict what's going to happen tomorrow. It's a kind of like a different timeline that we go through. Things change moment by moment. That used to be mostly all over our life, but now we experience it more deeply. So then remember yourself. Once you find that choice, once you find that purpose, and you will little by little start to go through that work for that. So because that whatever that we bringing from yesterday, we don't know what it is sometimes until when it come to in front of our face. We don't know what we gathered yesterday or previous lives. So that's why today only the human beings have that capacity to change their destiny like that way. Because mostly other animals, if you look, you know, that all other animals go through behavior patterns and they cannot change. But we are the living beings in this planet. Whenever you want that, you can find a path to move in different ways. So then get that opportunity. Use this human capacity and get the best out of it. When it comes to meditation, that is one of the important thing that you have to remember. Don't bound to even this, in day-to-day life, that because that whatever that the we bound to the life, if you allow it to happen that way, and it mostly going to end up with the misery. And there is a word called vasana. So when I look this word, this word giving a more similar, that the meaning same like the mental formation, sanskara. So it's a vasana is unmanifest destiny. It already there. It's set up. No one can change it. If you allow it to happen, if you allow your vasana to unfold, and it has capacity to bring all the misery also. Look in your life that when you choose certain things, selected certain things, believing this is my vasana or the luck, and believing, oh, this is something good for me, in that moment you told yes to that. And that yes didn't bring only the good, only the happiness. What happened? It came with something else also. But today, when we struggle with that things, we don't see the mistake we have done and the way we used to look into that. So that inside us, it's kind of like, that already built up, set up destiny inside you from yesterday. If you don't work today, you go with it. That is what the sansara. We feeding through our actions, we go with it. So don't allow to go like that way. And the vasana is another way. When a child born, it's called another way called vasana, luck. See that the child bound to you, and at the same way that you don't see that you also bound to the child. And sometimes you think the child come to you, oh, it is that child destiny. But you don't see that child come to you to fulfill your destiny also. And whatever unmanifest destiny in you, through that child, you're going to experience, you're going to activate. The child is kind of like a key. So you are the machine, and you doesn't work properly, you still there. And the child come to your life, and you take it as vasana, oh, luck, you know. And that's how we also came to this world. But once the child come, that you think, oh, this child bound to you. But how about you? That you bound to the child, and sometimes, and that child start to activate your inner, all the, the mental formations. And after that, knowingly or unknowingly, you start to go with this all the motion of life. And that is, it brings that, oh, it fulfill your all the emotions, and it become kind of like a current. So child bound to you, and you bound to the child. And it's not only that child, then little by little, it has its own, you know, destiny, and it's going to fulfill and making a child, and that child, then your son or daughter, when you having a grandchildren, and your children think, oh, this is our vasana. So it's go like that way, go like that way. And deeply emotionally, what is happening, we start to depending on that feelings. Not only you what you feel, what you depending on, and you giving as a gift to your next. See that when the Prince Siddhartha was in the palace, when he having the baby, the Prince Raulo jato bandhanang jata, the bond. So that is the important thing, that he saw the bond, not the child bond to the parents, and how the parents bond to the child. So then yourself remember, be very careful. It is okay, you have a family life, you know, but at the same time, just imagine, you sometimes you say, oh, we have done whatever for our children, we know we don't have any hopes, like that. You just generally say that, you think you can forget your children and go away from it, and you can stay alone. But how about if you go like that way, you stay away alone, yourself, you stay away from your children, and how about you meet another family, parents, children together and gathering and having a very friendly environment? Do you think that you're going to be okay seeing that? You're going to become worry about it. You're going to worry about you. Why? Because what you're missing and giving the pain inside you. So it is a one example. So like that, like vasana, it's the kind of like the bond that it's kind of like unmanifested destiny that you carry. It's a kind of like a bundle of mental formations come to you as a gift. And the the marriage also the same. See, you alone yourself, you go here and there, and then suddenly you find a partner, husband or wife, you know, and you find a girlfriend or boyfriend. And what happening then after that? It come as a bundle of unmanifest destiny to you. Once you take it, what will happen to you? You going to be the same? No, you have no choice. Not only that person bound to you, what happening? You also bound to that person. This keep happening. This keep happening. Through the samsara, we used to depend on like that way. There is a deeper, that emotional current in you. Keep going, keep going. So we just flow through that. Like, that in the water park, you see there are children go, like come down through the tunnel, with the bend and, many, many ways, it's kind of like adventure. Same thing. It's a scary adventure, but it's still you enjoy. Not only one time, once you did it, you jump again, go to the high, and then again come back. If the children, parents say, let's go home. No, 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 let's try. We want to go one more. See, this is the same thing with us. So, and sometimes we think, oh, we can fix this. We cannot fix this. Because there is no, do you maybe we think, oh, I can fix, because there is no, you like somebody is there, that we take this everything as a result of 5 hindrance. You are a result of 5 hindrance. All these human beings in the world, remember, it's a result of, it's a package of 5 hindrances. Why the character become different? Remember this very carefully. Why somebody become different to you? So in the 5 hindrances, Kamachanda, Vyapada, Tinamidda, Uddhacha, Kukucha, Vichikicha. So the Kamachanda, desire, clinging, craving. And Vyapada, aversion, anger, or the hatred. And Tinamidda, sloth and torpor, laziness. And Uddhacha, Kukucha, restlessness. And the mind always, moving, jumping to past or the future and restless, and the busyness inside. And the fifth one, doubt, and no self-confidence, or the doubt regarding the path or the regarding anything. Always have the doubt. So when it comes to the spiritual practice, it is doubt about the practice and the Buddha and the meditation and everything. So generally, when it comes to these 5 hindrances, remember, all of us manifest out of these 5 hindrances. Your life means these 5 hindrances. So what is happening? Why we are different? Out of 5, one of maybe higher, or maybe 2 things higher, maybe 3 things higher, or 1 thing lower. So like that, that is where the people become so different each other as a character. So if everybody, if you come together and gather, and if you able to balance this all 5 hindrances too, as example, we take 4 people, and this all the 4 people, if you increase that 5 hindrances, all the 5 to the same level and make it equal, and that all the 4 people going to be kind of like a same character. It's going to be have the same kind of enjoyment. And that is where that enlightened masters become, they can see the same thing. How? Because when they get out of this all the 5 hindrances, they become equal in that way. So according to the 5 hindrances, we are different. And maybe one person, kama chanda higher, that means the desire or the clinging or craving higher, and another person, anger, hatred, or the aversion higher, and another person, sleepiness, sloth and the higher, and another person, restlessness higher, and another person, doubt higher. So like that, out of these 5, 1 of or 2 or 3 or it's different. And according to that, character become different. So then what you have to do, rather than maintaining these 5 hindrances, and slowly, little by little, get out of it. And it's so hold it to 5 hindrance itself called ignorance. So the ignorance come as a result of 5 hindrance. So as example, if you get out of this all 5, your ignorance going to go away. So hold it to 5 hindrance. You cannot change the ignorance. Why? Because the ignorance is the result of 5 hindrance. So that's the thing. So then when you practice meditation, how you can change the 5 hindrance? Because it is a result of something. It is a result of something. So the 5 hindrance arise because unwholesome action. Remember this. So your ignorance is the higher, and then the ignorance arises as a result of five hindrance. So the five hindrance arise because of the unwholesome bodily, verbally, and mentally actions. And why the bodily, verbally, or mentally unwholesome action arise? There is a reason for that. So it is undisciplined lifestyle. You are not disciplined with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and the mind. So if you become disciplined with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, and out of your bodily, verbally, or mentally action, there is no unwholesome action going to come. When there is no unwholesome actions, there is no five hindrance. When there is no five hindrance, there is no ignorance. And so then, how your bodily, verbal, and how your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind become undisciplined. And one thing is, you are not mindful and you are not aware. So when you're not mindful, when you are not aware, and as a result of that, in your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind become undisciplined. So why you become that not mindful? Why you become unaware? Because of the wrong thinking. So when you have the wrong thinking pattern, and your mindfulness going to disappear. So then how that wrong thinking come to you? And because of the wrong dharma, or the wrong knowledge, or wrong informations. So how the wrong information come to you? Because of you associate wrong people. So that is where everything is start. Your spiritual journey is going to change according to the people around you. So the wrong person here means not when you ask something, if that person give you or not that kind of person. The person who develop the greed, hatred, and the delusion in you. If that person help you to increase your greed, hatred, and the delusion, and ignite it, and pour the water to that, and that's the person called wrong person. So then you have to find an exit. Stay away from that person. If you cannot handle and deal with that person, so you have to be very careful. And if you don't have the necessary skills, and sometimes you try to change that person, finally you end up changing yourself to that kind of people. So then you have to be very careful. There are some people, then some incident happened. There are some people went to, find out information from terrorists or drug dealers, and they go into the circle. And then what happening? They end up becoming a part of that circle. So this the same thing. The greed, hatred, and the delusion, it's kind of like you know, the kind of like a mystery circle. So then, if without the skill that you have to be the mindfulness, awareness. But if you don't have it, you try to change other person, and like as example, there is a person get mad, angry, and always tell the bad things about others, and then always try to put the greed on you, and then you think about changing that person, and you try to help, but doesn't work. Finally you get disappointed, you get angry, mad, and then more than any other time you get angry, and before even that person you get angry. See, in the beginning you had the idea to change that person, but now what happened? Now you get angry. So like that. So important thing, the very important thing, the very first thing, find good people around you. Whoever feed the right information, and whoever try to help you to increase the generosity, loving kindness, compassion, and the wisdom. And at the same time, if you want to become a good person to others, try to help for them many different ways. And that will help take them out of the wrong dharma or the information or the knowledge. And then it will help to have the right faith. Once you develop the right faith, and it will help to have the right understanding, right mindfulness. And once that have the right mindfulness and right understanding, it will develop the self-discipline to be take care with the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. And once you have that, and you go into the wholesome action, both with your bodily, verbally, and mentally action. When you get into the wholesome action, and there is no way that five hindrance can come to you. When there is no five hindrance, there is no ignorance. So that is the journey. So that is what you have to build up in this life. It is your choice. So remember that, work for that. This is a very good opportunity. See that it is not the things, it is not our own habit. Have you seen the people also come behind us in the sansara? So when you look at the Jataka Katha stories, Buddha's life, you know, that it is not sometimes one time they met. In the previous lives, they used to follow the Buddha, keep follow the track. So same like you. Remember, sometimes around you there are people come behind you through the samsara. So if you think this person ignite, increase my greed, hatred, and the delusion, if you can help for that person to change that person. Otherwise, if you see the current is so high, if that person, the passion or the desire is so strong, even maybe your children, your parents can be, stay away. Don't get into that. Without necessary the practice, don't get into that. So it's like lifeguard. You have to train how to get a person out of the water in an emergency situation. Otherwise, don't jump. What will happen? Because you also can go with that person. It happened many times when you look at the news. See, most still it happening. It doesn't matter your, your personal or your the professional, identities, qualification. It doesn't care for your greed, hatred, and the delusion. Because it doesn't matter how high you go, you can go with this all the three things still. So then remember, get out of it, work for that. And for that, one of the best thing that you can practice is the generosity. Because when you practice the generosity from the ancient time, it help you to get into the good people. Remember that when you learn to give, one of the most important thing, when you learn to give, you will never end up with the wrong people. You always find a path to get into the right people or the good people. So that is very important. And that's why in day-to-day life, as a foundation, practice generosity, teach children to do it somehow, in different ways, even just with the little things, even with the thoughts, just thinking, may all living beings be well and happy. That's it, that's you open your heart to, so find that path, develop it little by little, little by little. So that way you will see. So with that, I'm going to tell you a story long, long time ago. And there was a village. In that village, there was a millionaire. and he had so much money, and but he had only one child, one son. So what happened? By the time the millionaire died, only the son, he's young boy. So after father died, all the money came to him. So what the child thought, oh, this is, my father had this everything, and he didn't take anything with him. So what the point having this all the money? Even if I die, I also going to go empty hand. I cannot take this anything. So then it's better, before I die, I want to spend this everything and have a good life. So that is what he thought. It's a pretty fair and thoughts. So what he did, he start to remodel that all the palace and everything, and put all the best thing, make it so beautiful. And then the place he lived, start to decorate the most expensive, with the most valuable things. And now it adding more value to the village. Now everybody start to talk about that his palace. And not only that, when he brought all the, he he had a different kind of cook that to, you know that prepare food, and he had all the best chefs, from the city, and bring everything. And when he eat, it's a kind of like a ceremony, because he eat all the best thing for the moment. And everywhere, the village was pretty poor village, but everywhere the smell goes. And then it kind of like a ceremony. Then the people, and he invite people to come and see. So the people came and start to see how he eat. Still sometimes people do that. We take up, these people's magazines. Sometimes people, they read how other people eat, how other people, well, where, how other people live and sleep, what is the mattress, so like that, everything. So then what happened? It's this every day keep, it's going ongoing ceremony every day. And then what happened? There was, far away in a village, there was a young boy, and he had a friend in this millionaire's village. So this village boy one day came to meet this his friend. So he came, and while they having conversation and talking, so what happened? The millionaire, before he having the meal, what he do? He send a message around the village, beating a drummer, telling, oh, our, Lord or the millionaire, or, going to eat now. Anybody you like to watch, come and see, was like that. So then these two friends were talking, and then heard this message. This village boy asked, what is that message? So then his friend start to explain, oh, this millionaire son, and the millionaire died, and this son, he start to having now very luxurious life. He's spending all the money and enjoying his life. So then this village boy told, oh, then let's go and see, because I never saw anything like that. So then, they both went. And then they saw most of the village people come, and there is a pavilion, and they start to watch, and how this, he, before he eat, he having a bath with the all the beautiful, the flowers, and the incense, and the water and oil. So kind of like it's a kind of like the big ceremony. And after that he come, and then first course, second course, so like that. So then they were watching, and this the village boy told, Hey, I also want to eat little bit from him. Can I go and ask? Then that the other friend told, no, no, don't do that. It is so, insulting to him, and don't do it. And everybody looking, don't do it. So somehow, with this, the village boy with the sad mind and came home, and then the next day again they went, and this village boy told to his friend, today somehow I going to ask little bit. So that day he couldn't hold himself. Then while everybody watching, when the millionaire ready to eat, what happened? The village boy jump out of this, the people, and ran to him and told, please, I need little bit. If you don't give, I'm going to die. So then the millionaire thought, right away he told, no, 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 I cannot give. I cannot give. This is for me. Why? Because if I give only for you, then everybody start to come and ask, then what that I going to lose my food. So what I going to eat? So like that he complained. Then this boy telling, if you don't give anything, I going to die. So then millionaire thought, if this guy die here, that is not good for my name. So then the millionaire told, okay, I can give something little bit to eat, but not today. You have to work for that. You cannot just come and get something to eat. You have to work. So what you have to do from today, 3 years, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days work in my palace. And then after that, you can have. So this boy told, yeah, I will do it. I can do that. And his friend went home and he stayed at the palace and start to help for the palace. So he go to everybody and help. He became a helper for everyone. And everybody used to, like him. Why this guy, whatever they ask, he do it. He never going to argue or question. He never say no. He start to do that. Well, so by the time what happened? One day, the millionaire ready to eat. And that time, his one of his best, the main advisor came to him and told, sir, you remember that one day this boy came to you and asked for food? Then the millionaire told, yes. So then you told 3 years, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days to work with us? Yes, I remember that. So today is the day he completed his period of time and work here. So the millionaire asked then, so how was the guy? He was okay, he did everything. Yeah, then his advisor told, oh, he's help for everybody and did everything, no any mistakes. He's a so nice, good boy and worked so hard. So like that. So then the millionaire told, okay, then today I'm not going to eat. So today, same like that you treat me and prepare him for the meal and give everything to him. So then that day, they send the message around the village, telling this boy going to eat. So that the boy who attached to, the meal or the rice, going to have lunch today. So that day, what happened? Whole more than any other time, everybody came to see this. And the boy, same like, then he having a bath with the oil and the sandalwood and the, you know, and the flowers, that everything, was a big ceremony today. This boy having this, everything. And then he sat on the chair and ready to eat. And that day, there was an enlightened monk far away in the jungle. And that day, that enlightened monk came Pindapata, looking for food to this village. And no one was in the village. The everywhere empty. Every house closed. And so the monk was, walking, and then he saw these people. So then he entered to the people. And when he entered to the people, what happened? It was so huge gathering, and the people start to give space to this monk, because he's a monk and coming in this very moment, and everybody respect and everybody start to move. So the monk start to move forward. So what happened? This boy, he ready to eat, and he took some food. It was so smell and tasty. The millionaire was in the upstand thinking, oh, this guy going to die today, because he so craving for food, and today he going to die, and it going to become a big mess. So he was thinking like that. And this boy ready to eat, now he took some food to his hand, and then he ready to put it to his mouth. And at the same time he look, somebody come towards him, and he saw the monk. So what he did, he put back that food to the plate, and took the plate, move forward, and offered it to the monk. So this enlightened monk told, I don't need this whole, food. Give me half. Why? Because you 3 years, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days work so hard to get this food. So I don't need this everything. So I will take half and you can have half. So then this boy told, no, 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 don't do that for me. Monk, I am very poor. I am from far away in a village. I came from a very poor family, and I saw this. I understood something. In the sansara, we didn't give any dana. We didn't offer anything to anybody. That's why we didn't receive anything in this life like this. So that's why we have to work so hard to get something. Because in the sansara, we didn't give. So, but today I have opportunity. With the work, so hard work, I earn this, my plate. So let me offer it to you. Why? In the sansara, I will not going to have a hard time. So then the monk accepted the food. And at that time, everybody start to say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. It's so like whole village. The millionaire was in the top of the palace and listening. What is this? What happened to this boy? I was waiting this everybody start to shout because this guy is going to die. And then he start to look, and he saw there is a monk and he offering. So then he asked from this boy what happened. So then he got the news and he knew what happened. And then he had the same, and he apologized from the boy and told, I had my father had this everything and he died without taking anything. And myself, I was enjoying and I didn't give anything to anybody. So in the sansara, maybe I have done something good, but that is why I received this, but I didn't have any knowledge to giving something what we have, sharing what we have, going to bring us the more happiness in the future. So today you taught me this. And that is a great lesson for me. From today, half of my all this wealth, half of my wealth going to be your wealth. Why? Because you taught me the greatest lesson to the life, not only this life, to sansaric journey. And so, as a respect, please accept that. And he accept. And at the same time, the whole village gather, and this something big happening here. And it heard, the king heard that. Then the king also came to this place, because it is the millionaire, and the king knew him. So king also visited suddenly. And then the king asked, what happened? And everybody explained what happened. So the king told, oh, in my kingdom, I'm so happy to hear like you, young boy, and think like that way, and doing this kind of thing. You work so hard, 3 years, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days to get this food. But when you had the opportunity to eat, and even when you had the opportunity to get half, but still you offered it. As a respect to that, you know, with my happiness, I in my kingdom, I give you part of, for you to take care and be you know, the person that who yourself, and earn some money and do the meritorious activities yourself and have a good life. So king offered him, part of his kingdom. So see, this is what generosity. That's mean this is what giving. And that's why giving kind of like a bringing all the people together. It's like a magnet. See, if you don't give, that is why the dana, is the generosity is the foundation for spiritual practice in Buddhism. Why? Because if you don't give, what will happen? All the unprofitable people going to be around you. It doesn't matter wherever you are, if you start to give, if you become generous, all the good people going to be around you. That going to be the first pillar. And you're going to start to climb the Dhamma, the end of that pillar, you come to the top and get out of the five hindrance and the ignorance. So remember then yourself as much as you can. Maybe it is not materially what you give or physically what you give. No. Just open your heart with the loving kindness and compassion, at least around you people, other people, whoever. Just have the compassion, empathy, and share thoughts. Never have any kind of bad or unnecessary thought regarding anybody. Why? People do, people have, people become like that way, people have attitude because of many reasons. So we don't know behind what is happening. So have the compassion, but at the same time, it is not an excuse for yourself to not to do good things, but your responsibility to continue yourself and to become a better person and uplift your life and get out of the five hindrance. Clear that all the five things. Don't keep any one thing. Get out of all the five things, and then the wisdom going to be there. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityu vajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu ma te bhavatantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata cha ammi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.